Bismillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce. My name is Muhammad Luthfan Rafi Hermawan. My NPM is 2321-22057. And I'm from Class C in Phonetics and Phonology class. Today, I'm going to explain about the material that has been explained about speech mechanism. So humans, they can communicate with another humans by using language, and so do the animals. But there's a difference between animals and human to communicate. For animals, they communicate by their own way. For example, that like the videos that I've been watched is about the bees. So the bees, they communicate by using their body. They dancing, and that is the way that the bees are communicate. And another example is that the whales, they also communicate with their own way. They communicate by using echolocation, and they use it under the water. And that is also the way that the animals communicate. So what is the difference between the animals and the human? What is the speech mechanism of human? So humans, they are using language to communicate, and to use language we have to use six important parts in our body. So the first one is sorry. So the first one is our lungs and our vocal cords or our vocal folds, and then our mouth, our lips, our tongue, and then last is our brain. So here I will explain all of them, and the first thing that I will explain is about the brain. So our brain, it has a complex cells, and our brain can scan what people are talking about by using our left hemisphere. And Alhamdulillah, if our left hemisphere is damaged, we can change it to scan by using our right hemisphere. And that is the miracle of God. So the mechanism of our brain is when people are talking about something, we scan it with our left hemisphere. But if we cannot use the left hemisphere brain, we can change it to our right hemisphere. Okay, and then move on into the lungs. So our lungs, there is several respiratory system, and it contains a lot of things. It contains like lungs and another organs. They are work together to create space, so the lungs, they can expand. So from that, the air can go through the mouth and then the nose, and then they will go into the bronchi. So from the bronchi, they will go again to smaller passage. It's called bronchiolus, and from that, I'm sorry, um, the air dioxide, they can expelled from the lungs to the nose or the mouth by breathing. And that is the way, and or that is the mechanism of our lungs. And then move on again to our vocal cords. So our vocal cords are also called vocal fold. So our vocal cords, it contains small thin muscle tissue, and it's located to in our larynx or our voice box in here in our vocal cord. So the vocal cords passes through the air to the cord from our lungs, and that is the air that we produce to create sounds like this. And that is the way that vocal cord and that is the mechanism of our vocal cord. Okay, and then move on to our mouth. So our mouth, it contain I'm sorry. So our mouth, it contain our tongue and our lips. So if we produce a word, for example like sound, I'm using my tongue and my lips and also my mouth. Like, I'm sorry, like sound, I'm pointing my tongue to the upper teeth, like sound, like this is the this is the tongue and this is my upper teeth, so it touching each other like sound, and I'm using my mouth like focusing to the front like sound, and that is the mouth. So we also use mouth, teeth, mouth, lips, and tongue to communicate. So the conclusion about the speech mechanism of humans, so a human, they get a miracle by biological system that it's complex, and they can communicate with many things like that, like what I have explained about, like from our lungs, our vocal cords, our brain, our mouth, our tongue, and then our lips. And I'm sorry if there is a mistake. I think that's all for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.